welcome back. Today, this song was kept playing over and over in my head, and I thought, it's it's a time, isn't it? Have you got one that's playing over and over in your head? It could be a fun one, it could be one that's not so fun. It could be just a sound. The song that's playing over and over in my head is the sound of silence. Made popular, remade popular by Disturbed and also by Pentatonics. I'm trying to remember the original artist. I can't remember it right now. Two of them. The words, of the song. I think that's why it keeps playing over in my head. People singing without speaking. People singing without speaking. People hearing without listening. Those two. How's your day been? You're exhausted, right? Are you exhausted because you've had a busy day? Or are you exhausted because you've had to be there for everyone? And it's that time of the night and you feel like, when do I get my break? Or are you laying in bed because you're thinking about an issue that you've had to deal with today for somebody else that hasn't quite been resolved, and you're looking for a solution? It is good to make sure that we're there for everyone. It is good to make sure that we are always there to step in when people need us. Both stepping in for you, because we all need that one person that can step in for us when we need help. Unfortunately, because we are mortals, it means that we are not invincible. Because we're mortals, it also means that we can become deflated sometimes. Like now. You went out there to speak to someone, but just as you're about to, they told you about the problems that they're faced with, and all of a sudden you felt like yours was insignificant. Was it insignificant, or did a person overwhelm you by what they were saying? Or is it because you know the person so well that as you were speaking to them, you're able to pick up on their body language to realize that everything wasn't okay. People singing without speaking. Sometimes you can tell from people's body language what's going on. But you have to be attuned. You have to be observant. You have to be alert. Do you feel like you are and everybody else are not? Are you at that point where you're feeling like they always say this about me? You're so good at picking up things. You're the best at picking up things. I don't know how you do it. How do you do it that you can just tell that I'm not okay? But how? Is it possible that people are not trying hard enough? Or are people using their struggles as a reason not to try? Or they just haven't got it in them? These are all the things that are going through your head. The possibilities are they might be overwhelmed by what's going on, just like you are right now. The difference is you're able to hold it together whilst you are in their company and they can't. It's possible that your experience has allowed you to build this level of resilience. Your experience, however negative it was, has allowed you to become this force that you have become. The thing now is to continue to become this force. You've got to make sure the people are listening and hearing. Because this is the bit, isn't it? We got a lot of people that are hearing without listening. I'm struggling. Are you? Oh, you can't be struggling because you're the one that's always there for everyone. If you struggle, what are the rest of us gonna do? By the way, I've got this problem. Should we talk about it? Did you see what I just did there? I heard it, but I wasn't listening because it was all about me. But it wasn't deliberate. It's just because you've always come across as being impenetrable because of that armor that you wear when you're out there. So people are able to hear that you are struggling, but it's impossible to kind of comprehend it because you're not as fragile as the rest of us. You're you. You're Ben. You're Emily. You are Tony. You're Becky. You're Christine, and you're the tough one. Because that's the image that you've put out there. And whilst there's nothing wrong with that image, you might need to break out the group to look for your Emily, your Christine. Because what happens when you haven't got that? You fall apart. And support that you're trying to offer falls with you. And it's that domino effect. Or rather, it's like chess. When the king is captured, everything else ends. It doesn't matter the amount of moves, everything else can or have or has. The king's been captured, and that's the end of the game. You've still got moves, but the moves requires choices. And your choice tonight is you've done what you can do today. Worrying about what that person is going through right now, how's that going to help them? They're not with you right now. Ultimately, the solution ought to be empowering that person to source their own solution, because then they're not overly reliant on you and looking for you or looking to you for all the answers, because we don't have all the answers. And even if you do have an answer, is it the right one? Is it the one that's going to resolve all of the issues? Or is it only going to resolve a tiny little bit until you can find another one? Which then ultimately means that you are handcuffed to the situation. You become party to these struggles. And feeling depleted or defeated when you lay your head on your pillow like you are now. Because you just can't understand why there is no end to it. Is it possible that you are caught between their struggles and your struggles? It's time to sleep. And it's going to be okay. Because it's always been. And worrying hasn't helped so far, has it? So you have a good night. Until next time. Sleep tight.